All right, now, moving on. Today is quite a very, very, very special occasion. And moving on from Clay, we have something also, another guest who is almost and maybe even more inspirational. We have Abiola Williams. She was also our very first celebrity guest on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, she had a compelling story to share with us at that time. Now, of course, she is here with us this morning. Look, that story has been played a number of times to different people, and we have been so inspired and motivated so much. It is great to have you, Abiola Williams. You are welcome on the show this morning.
Thank you very much, Mike. It is my pleasure, as it was.
Yes.
And it seems
it
will be. And by the way, my name is Abiola Williams.
Okay, Abiola Williams. Right. Thank you so much for that one.
Right.
I don't make that mistake again. So it's been a wonderful ride for you. You are somebody I remember watching on the early episodes of Tinsel. You've always been someone that I would just watch and I'd be like, you had this way, the finesse all about you, you know,
thank you.
You're cut from a different cloth. But then you came out and then you've had your own challenges, as almost everyone has, but you have come out stronger. Something that your story about scleroderma is something that a lot of people have heard, and you've inspired and motivated people so much. But now, there are a lot of people who are going through things that maybe some people know and some people don't know. In fact, we had the case of Chadwick Boseman, who was fighting cancer on his own and didn't get to tell people, and he passed on. And many people, you know, it brought up so many emotions. You know, let's get into your mind a bit. How, I know you've said this many times, but to somebody out there, from your own experience, how do people get through this and come out as strong as you have?
Okay, so sickness is not something you should ever go through alone, because it takes a lot out of you. Apart from the physical consequences, it also takes a lot away from you emotionally and spiritually. There were moments when I couldn't pray. For a long time, I couldn't pray. I could only think thoughts of prayer. And I had a friend who at the time was really scared for my life because she actually thought I'll die. And I said to her, you know what, if I do die, I know where I'm going. So there is no fear whatsoever. Unfortunately, my friend passed away last year, yes. Thank you. And, but through that period, there were two things that was on my mind. My children and God. Well, the other way around, God first and then my children. And with God, it was like, you know what? He was always there with me through it all. And so I wonder how people cope when they don't have a personal experience with God. Because he's the only source of hope and strength. And when I say my children, I had to fight for my life because my children depended on me to be there.
So there was that anchor, something to hold on to.
That was something to hold on to. And I had a lot of people praying for me. Now, I'd like to say this. If you're going through anything, do not keep it to yourself. That's a sure way of dying faster or dying at all. Because there's some diseases or conditions that when you talk to people about it or when people know about it and you're open to help and support, you can be sustained. You can fight. There could be an impetus to fight. But without support, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, there's no impetus for survival. You could easily become, what's the word? You could lack hope so easily and then fall into the hands of that condition. It might be mental the disease, it might be physical, it might be spiritual, whatever it is that you're going through, you must share with at least one person who will stand with you.
Thank you so much. Now, at present, after all of that, what's the situation now? How are you holding up? What has been the change? How has it evolved? How have you evolved as a person?
Okay, so there's this person in the industry who called me up or chatted with me a few days ago and said, Sisi Alagbo, that means that, Habo, Sisi Alagbo, please come and tell me, what should I be using? I'm almost 60, and I know you know all these things. Now, what that said to me was, I'm doing a lot better.
Yes, we can see that.
Oh, really? Thank you.
We can.
Than I was. right? And because I had to research, if I go to see a doctor, and I ask the doctor, why are you giving me this medication? Or what is your plan of treatment for me? And he feels threatened or intimidated by my question, I will not continue with that doctor because my life is in my hands, right? So I must investigate, I must research what are the things that will work for me in this condition. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
So when a lot of people go and see the doctor and it's like, okay, they were given medications. I say, okay, so what were the medications? They don't know. What are the medications supposed to do? They don't know. But the doctor said it was okay. I'm saying, goodness, the doctor really, honestly, as much as he cares about his work, is not you.
I like that. Let's just hold on that. We'll take a very short break.
Right.
And we'll be right back and continue with this compelling and amazing story. Thank you for staying with us. We still have Abiola Williams with us here. Now, we had to go to a break where we were talking about your doctor and how important it is that you know what medication you are getting, right? Let's pick up from there.
Right, so what I'm saying is your life is in your hands, no matter what the situation, however well qualified that doctor is, or the medical practitioners that you're seeking their expertise. You must do your own research. You must find out what is wrong with you and how well those medications. I always ask questions, regardless of how the doctors feel. You know, I engage them, and when I leave, they know they have been thoroughly.
They have been thoroughly. All right, wonderful. Now, this one excites me. Let's talk about your project. Now, you had to go for a short break, even though it was not by choice. But now you're fully back. You're working on a number of things. Let's know what you have in store for your
I
fans
lost my father so many years ago, 1995, and at the time when he passed, I realized that I didn't know his real age. Wow. We got to find out during the processes of burial, and then so. In talking to his younger people, younger siblings, they said, I'm this age, I'm that age, so he couldn't possibly have been that age. I realized that there was a lot about my dad that I didn't know. No. So I started thinking, you know, a lot of our parents, there's so many things about them that we lose, and we don't know them. And we just go, and I regret that I don't know my dad's story. So I decided that I was going to start a docuseries in which I'll talk to people whose stories, and I mean ordinary people, not necessarily celebrities or innovators of any sort. The only innovation they have is their lives. And I believe that everybody has a story to tell that could be compelling and can make impact on younger people that are coming up. So I started working on this docuseries, and that's what I'm working on right now, to tell stories of ordinary people and tell it in such a compelling way that we can learn from where they have been and possibly where they're going, however old they are, and make it very dramatic.
Wonderful. How do we get to? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be in the cinema?
It's going to be,
how can we access
certainly
it?
Not online, because I want it to be accessible to everybody.
Okay.
And so it's not limited to cinema. We could run it on the cinema, but I'm still working on it.
You're still working on it.
Shooting.
So I guess the best way to keep in touch with that is to hook you up on social media and keep up to date with what you're doing. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. And here's wishing you all the best. I'm looking forward to that docuseries. You're going to do some voiceovers on it, I think. You would, right? Or you're featuring in it, not just producing it.
I am. I'm presenting.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
I want to say something about you, though. You're quite engaging.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay.